Welcome back to Alpacamade. It's great to see you again. It is May 21st, 2020. This actually might be posted on May 20th. We'll see how it goes. This is not the show I was going to do today. I may post a second show today, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. In the meantime, first up, I want to talk to you about some exciting things that have happened here in the Mitten State. And this is where I live. But if you're not familiar with the state of Michigan, this makes no sense to you. This is a right-handed fielder's mitt, and if you are throwing with your left hand being dominant, this is the way the mitt would look. But this is the way my state actually looks. So when I tell you that I live in the middle of the mitt, that's exactly what I mean. Let's go in for a closer look because we made international news this week. Just a little east of where I am, two dams were in serious trouble because of days of rain, and the one north of me, which would be Smallwood up there on the top, just about broke through, and the one southeast of me in Midland County actually broke through. Let's take an even closer look. This is drone footage from someone up northeast of me of the Smallwood Lk Dam, and you can see it's almost breached right there. And I apologize, Vertigo people, there's going to be an abrupt turn because I've sped this footage up about 0.75% so that we can get all this into one broadcast. Here it comes. Sorry about that. You can see it is almost over the catwalk in this clip of the footage, and workers are reinforcing that spillway with construction rubble. Now, our governor determined that dam workers were not essential in the springtime, which kind of blows our mind. So they were not preparing for this kind of weather event, which normally in the springtime, Michigan dam workers and trail maintenance workers and volunteers for the DNR would be very busy out taking care of these kinds of things. And you can see in the still shot that the dam catwalk is now being washed over by water. Now let's go south of me to Edenville and look at the dam that actually broke. That is a lot of water rushing through there, and it has the force to actually wash the bank away as well. We're going to go look at a map view of exactly this area in Midland County in just a minute, but I'd just like for you to look at the force that this water from the dam break had. So if we look at the Wixom Lake area on Google Maps, you can see that this is a pretty big, long lake. We can zoom out in a minute. You can see it's actually part of two river systems that converge at Edenville, which is right here. And these little minus signs show you, well, Edenville is right here actually, but these little minus signs show you that there's road closures all in this area due to the dam break. So let's zoom out a little bit. And you can see that up in here is the Smallwood Lake area that we were talking about. It's a little farther north, actually, somewhere up in here. And this is one two-river system, and this is another river system. They converge here in the Edenville area and then flow down through a much smaller waterway all the way into Sanford Lake here, and then down into Midland here. Midland, Michigan is a pretty moderate-sized city. It's home to Dow Chemical, among other things. So actually, Smallwood Lake is up in this area. Fox News reported today Michigan flood hits record level, dam breaches, historic event playing out in the midst of coronavirus, Whitmer says. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is who they're quoting. And the caption for the video I just lost is Michigan City could be under 9 feet of water after dams burst amid heavy rains. That should actually read a Michigan City could be under 9 feet of water because Michigan City is actually in Indiana. Journalism 101. Floodwaters in the central Michigan area broke records early Wednesday and threatened to rise even higher after catastrophic dam failures forced about 10,000 people to evacuate as the region faces an additional hardship during the coronavirus pandemic. The National Weather Service said the Tittabawassee River in the city of Midland reached its highest level ever Wednesday morning at 33.97 feet and is expected to rise up to 38 feet by midday. And as of right now, it is 11:49 in the morning, so in 10 minutes or so. This is unlike anything we've seen in Midland County, Michigan. Governor Gretchen Whitmer said at a news conference on Tuesday, quote, "If you have a family member or loved one who lives in another part of the state, go there now," close quote. This is the exact opposite of what she said 2 weeks ago when she told people they could not travel to other parts of the state to property they owned. For example, a vacation house, a cabin, a boat. But let's move on. Whitmer, who declared a state of emergency for Midland County, said that downtown Midland could be under 9 feet of water by midday Wednesday as the water recedes from released from dam failures reaches the city. And we've already looked at where that is actually. So the National Weather Service on Tuesday evening urged anyone near the river to seek higher ground following catastrophic dam failures at Edenville Dam about 140 miles north of Detroit and the Sanford Dam about 7 miles downriver from Edenville. We just saw that on the map. So let's listen to what Governor Whitmer had to say.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate everyone. Congressman, good to see you. Appreciate everyone making time to be here. This is another packed news day because obviously we've got historic flooding here. I just finished an aerial tour of the impacted areas, and what I can tell you is what you already know. You've seen from the pictures. It's devastating. We know that this water is incredibly damaging. It has meant the evacuation of thousands, and I can tell you, even in the hardest hit spots, there are sources of inspiration here in this building as you talk to the incredible volunteers and people of the Midland community. So experts are describing this as a 500-year event. It's going to have a major impact on this community and on our state for the time to come, and that's why we are going to be very aggressive about getting help from our federal partners. I've been speaking with the federal government, and they know that we'll be formally asking FEMA for support, and I'll have more to share on that soon. So I want to reiterate, and I feel like I've said this a lot over the last 10 weeks, but this is an event unlike anything we've seen before, and we've got to continue to all work together to observe best practices, do our part to help one another, and to wear our masks and continue to try to social distance in this moment. And a lot of you are standing too close to one another. I'm just going to observe that. I ask that you remember we are still in the midst of COVID-19. We still have COVID-19 in 79 out of 83 counties, so we've got to continue to take this seriously. Like these young people with their masks on. Good job, you guys. Our first responders and local emergency response officials and members of the Michigan National Guard and the Michigan State Police have been working through the night to help people get to shelter.
Yes, I sped her up, And we're going to cut to the chase because what she said from here out was a whole lot of nothing, really. Nothing people couldn't have figured out on their own who live in Michigan and deal with this stuff every spring. We're at over 10 minutes right now, so we're going to jump to the Q&A where our Michigan press did a little bit better job, and we're going to hear from another official about the Sanford Lake Dam area, which is that area south of Wixom Lake, and it is overtopped.
City Manager, thank you.
Thank you, Governor. The Sanford Dam at this point in time is overflowing. The majority of it, probably 60 to 80% of that, has actually been overtopped. It's not entirely clear what the structure is below the water surface. The Michigan State Police have been helping us. They have a helicopter that is out that is constantly filming the river, as well as all of the dams and the structures along it. It continues to show a significant amount of overflow over that dam coming down the river towards the city here. We don't know, quite frankly, whether the entire structure is gone or only portions of it are gone beneath that water flow at this point in time. But it is, and it will continue to release a significant amount of water from the lake behind it.
Could it get much worse if the structure does?
I want to take over your conference here. Could it get worse? Yes. If the entire structure were to go and the water were to come in a very significant, serious, immediate impact, there would be a much higher surge that would come down the river, and that could raise the level much more quickly than what we're seeing right at the moment. So it is a danger, yes. I'm going to get out and get back.
I think that's enough fun for one day, at least enough about flooding and disaster in my beautiful state of Michigan. So now when I say middle of the Mitt, you know that I'm west of where that flooding took place and, a little north. If you are so inclined to pray for the people of Michigan, I can tell you for sure Michiganders would greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, thank you so much for stopping by. I will get back on track real soon. I hope you and yours are well. Until I see you again, take care.